one area, that picture will populate in every other area. That's, say, like a light fixture bulb wasn't working. That one bulb, if it's in multiple locations, and I put all the areas, it's going to populate that one into all those areas. So it's going to confuse you.
Okay.
So I just kind of say multiple, so kind of go around, change the bulbs,
That's
go from there.
Okay.
So let's start off. Trim, maintain vegetation, the exterior front and exterior left. Just keep it, 15 inches off the structure. The walkways, the walkway in the front there, going up to the entry door, it's a little damaged or uneven. Florida or sand based. Go look at anybody's sidewalks or driveways. The pavers, as you step the landing, so when you step out from the interior to the exterior, there should always be a landing, kind of basically a concrete slab. That ends up is a concrete slab with pavers, and towards the edges, the pavers are loose.
We know that.
Okay. Driveways a little damaged or uneven as well. The left enclosure door doesn't self-close or self-latch like it's supposed to. There's like a little screw in the mechanism there. If you tighten it, it puts more air in it and it'll close slower. So maybe
just
unscrew it a little bit.
Okay.
And then there are some zones throughout the irrigation. There's one damaged head around the sidewalk here. It's kind of shooting up the side. And then a lot of them are misdirection. If that makes sense. Basically have them adjust. Some of them, they might have gotten hit by like a landscaper or something like that. They're kind of leaning. Especially the one by that front door or the pool bathroom doors. Essentially, if the irrigation was on, you went out there, you get all. But either way, it's in here as well, just as a recommendation. Irrigation systems are finicky to begin with. Personally, I just rather water my own lawn. Wall surfaces, there's some gaps around, multiple windows, just some caulking. And around the main water shutoff on the front exterior here, around the piping, you can either do silicone caulking or they make this like spray foam stuff. You can spray in there. The only wood rod I found, which is very typical, the bottom right corner of the garage exterior access door. So inside, you go to the garage, that one door that goes outside, not the vehicle doors, but the
side door.
Exactly. And then on the back right corner here, the soffit looks like it's a little damaged or loose. It looks like somebody pushed it up or something like that. The soffit.
It's part of the roof.
On the outside. So basically, where the roof. So here's the wall. Whatever overhangs underneath with all the little holes, that's ventilation. That's your soffit. And those those vents, they just pop in there. So if you adjust it and bring it back down. With the window screens, which is also typical in Florida, multiple are damaged. The sliding glass doors, every one of them, except for, I think like this one slid okay, but that one definitely is tough to open, and the other two don't track as properly as I like them to. And people think, oh no, you don't have to do the whole door, it's the tracking hardware at the bottom. Sometimes you can adjust, I've heard you can adjust them up and down, so try that, or sometimes the plastic wheels, they go bad. The GFCI receptacle by the pool equipment, which the GFCIs are the push buttons. It's not operating. Not quite sure why. It's $20-$30 for a receptacle, but I'm not quite sure how often you're gonna ever use that receptacle. To be honest.
Which one is that? By the pool?
By the pool equipment.
Okay.
So when you're going around the tour, you see I did a pool equipment area. That's where I'll get to it also. There's a loose bib, basically where like a strap wraps around from that attaches it to the wall. Where that strap kind of broke, so it just needs to be fixed right there. So you'll see the camera icon right at the hose bib, and then where the receptacle is. The coach lights, which is also very typical because they're front heavy, are on the right exterior, in front of the garages. They're a bit loose. They've got 2 bolts. Tighten them. You're gonna already be caulking anyway. Caulking around there. The light fixture cover in the second floor utility room is missing. You should have proper bulb protection. And then there are bulbs, multiple light fixtures. Change the bulbs, test the operation, go from there. 9 times out of 10 is a bulb, but sometimes it can't actually be the fixture or the socket it goes into. And then there's a light fixture missing in the in-law suite closet. So when you go into the bedroom, the right closet there. But if you're looking at the front of the house, it's the left closet. Looks like there's a desk in there, and there used to be like a light that they took away. It didn't have any current right now, but so either terminate the wires, put them in a junction box, or get a light fixture in there. The ceiling fan in that front right bedroom there is a little bit wobbly, not balanced. They make weights now you can put up there. But first I'd start by going up and seeing if it's, because sometimes when fans go, screws get a little loose here and there. And then pretty much all the bathroom exhaust fans, they're a bit noisy for my taste. They may need to be repaired or replaced in the near future, but I'd start with cleaning them because a lot of times if you ever look up at them, there's all lint buildup, so it's working harder than it should. And then for the HVAC system, typical life expectancy is about 15 years. The master bedroom, and just the master has exceeded its typical life. The other ones are at the end.
Do you know how much that is?
For an AC unit?
No, how much has exceeded?
How much is exceeded?
15 years, so 16, so about a year.
Oh,
About a year.
okay.
And the other ones are just about.
Well, okay, so the exterior is 2005, so that's 16 years. They there's one in the attic, or the master, that's the air handler, and that one's from 04, that's 17 years. But also, the supply and return, the returns are the big vents that returns the air back to cool it. The supplies are the smaller vents that pump out the cool air. Well, between those two should be a 14 to 22 degree split difference. The master was 76 return and a 76 and a 67 supply. So it's about a 9 degree split. It's not there. And then upstairs is 96 return and 101 supply. It was operating when I first got here, and then when I turned the heat on. And also, you always want to make sure that, most of them are dummy proof now, but if you're supposed to switch off the thermostat before you go from hot to cold, so that way it doesn't jolt the system and harm it.
So is it working now?
It's still not. That was the last thing I did, was go up there and test it.
Okay, so can we just have that on the point that it's not operating, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so the heat pump system, return 76 master, 96 second floor, and they're not operating within.
Okay. So do those just need? Do you think it needs maintenance? Like someone come out and it actually?
It's really hard to say.
Okay.
But judging by their age, the systems themselves, something may be going.
Okay.
But it could be an inexpensive part or something like that. But we can't go. Our insurance won't allow us to take anything apart. The only thing we're allowed to take off is the distribution panel.
Perfect. Yep.
Air handler, so the second floor air handler condensate line. So that's if you go into that utility room, it's the one standing up, not laying down. The condensate line's leaking a little bit. You can see some staining, and it's still a little bit wet on the plenum box holding the AC air handler. So you might want to get that checked out. Maybe sometimes those connections with the PVC pipes, the glue, maybe more glue, something like that. And then on the in the second floor utility room, the one that's laying flat has a bit of rusting and corrosion in the drip pan, telling me that it has had a overflow at some point. The hose bib is loose. You already mentioned that one. And then there are multiple loose tub spouts, mixer valves, and that metal circle that goes around the shower head pipe.
Escutcheon.
The what?
Escutcheon. It's called an escutcheon. Yeah.
It's called cover plates.
Yeah.
We've learned that word very well with our house.
We don't try to use very, very technical terms. We try. No disrespect to anybody, but if you were talking about nails or something like that, you'd have to dumb it down for me.
Yeah.
No, we're just laughing.
It's actually an old term because you had them on your radiators, you had them on any kind of plumbing. Yeah, it's called an escutcheon.
Yeah, we just learned that.
Okay. All right. Nice one to know. Thank you. And then the hot water faucet for the right sink and the master. So the right sink and the master, the hot water side. I turned it on and I pull the stoppers to see if it drains or not. But it was hard to turn off. I was getting a little concerned. I was about to go underneath and turn the down there. There's valves for the hot and cold water supply. That's basically a main shutoff for that for sinks, and there's one for the toilets. I was about to turn that off, but I was able to. No, it's not that it doesn't drain. It's just really difficult to turn off. I had to hold the base to turn it off. So underneath there's a bar that slides down and is threaded, and then there's a nut that screws up and holds it down. It needs to be bolt needs to be tightened.
Okay.
And then the left sink drains a bit slow. It was probably the husband's. Shame. My fiance got me one of those things that Yeah.
Oh, the bib.
I'm
Yeah,
about to
the
get
bib.
one of those.
Mhm.
I'm about
Changed
to.
my life.
Yeah,
Really?
right?
Yeah. Don't have to clean out the sink anymore or around
Yeah.
it. I mean, when you shave it,
Saw
they
that.
shoot everywhere,
I saw that
man.
on Shark Tank. But,
Yeah, it's great.
Gonna Amazon that tonight.
So the sprayer button does not function in the in-law suite / living room kitchen. I mean, it's kind of living room. It's got a little
Oh,
kitchen there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that button to start the sprayer or
Mhm.
regular water flow, it doesn't operate.
Oh,
Doesn't
Okay.
function.
but there's water coming.
Yes.
Oh.
And then the sprayer in the laundry room wasn't really operating properly. So, you know, when you can switch from
Mhm.
regular water and then the sprayer.
Mhm.
Well, when you go from the regular water, the sprayer just keeps dripping.
Oh.
Mm.
So kind of like 50-50.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then water leaks to the shower head stem in the pool bathroom. That's just where the shower head screws onto the pipe. So
Okay.
maybe you need some Teflon plumber's tape or
Okay.
maybe a new shower head. Sometimes there's a rubber gasket actually in there.
Mhm.
And sometimes the rubber gets dried out and bad. Or sometimes when they screw it on,
Mm-hmm.
it gets
Kinda weird,
kinked
yeah.
and everything. So I'd start unscrewing it, go from there, look
Mhm.
at it. The wall mounted shower heads in the master,
Mm-hmm.
like it has a valve where you can turn, from the shower head to the
Mhm.
one
Yeah.
on top, and then the wall mounted.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it does not go over to the wall mounted
Oh.
Oh.
for some reason. I could.
So the wall mounted is not functional.
So coming out of the wall, it doesn't
So the
it doesn't divert.
So it diverts
Yeah.
from the sprayer handle
Huh?
to the one above, but not the wall
I didn't
mounted
know there
ones.
was
Oh.
That are supposed to
Yeah.
shoot out at you.
No,
Okay.
Yeah, those aren't operating.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Um,
That's
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah.
And then under the kitchen sink,
Mm-hmm.
it appears that it's coming from the cold water supply line. That kind of like almost looks like braided line under
Mhm.
there. I could show you.
Yeah.
It looks like it because when I put my light down there, it
Mhm.
looks like a mist, and I felt it. It's got like a little cut in it.
So it's
So,
leaking a little bit.
yes.
Mm.
Okay. You didn't see any mold or anything down
Not
there?
under there. No.
Okay.
The left sink drains slow.
Mhm.
We already did that one.
Yeah.
The toilet in the master is a bit loose, but there's 2 bolts on each side. Tighten them down. Put a bead of caulking around the base.
Yeah.
Good to go. Typical stuff here. There's cracks and gaps like in the shower enclosures and around the tubs, where, in between the tiles and
Yeah,
deck to
yeah.
wall junctions. Pretty much anywhere where you see those.
Mm-hmm.
At least, personally, 2, sometimes 3 times a year, depending.
Mm-hmm. Talking about.
Take a look at it. Yeah, regrout or caulk.
Okay.
And then the jet tub, you guys know about that.
Yeah,
It's
the
not
tub is
operating. It
replaced.
looks
Yeah.
like damaged.
Mhm.
The hole's taped up for some
Yeah, I
reason.
think that's all gonna be replaced.
It's getting replaced. We're gonna have you guys come back out and re-inspect.
And then the storage tank, which is the propane tank for the there's rusting and corrosion
saw
going
that.
around the top. I'd have that further evaluated. That's
Okay.
a very, very bad thing going on there.
Okay.
That's that. Windows.
Can that be just disconnected by itself, or
Oh yeah, I mean if you turn the valve off
and that's it?
and then you unhook it, you could take that tank and put a new tank in there.
Okay.
Lucky for you, it's not buried.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah, we wouldn't keep that.
And this is typical as well. Like I said, with the screens being damaged,
Mhm.
people really don't open their windows down
Mhm.
here. I've lived 30 years, probably twice.
Yeah.
I've opened
Yeah.
my windows.
If that, yeah.
So if you don't use them, you lose them. So if you, honestly, in my opinion,
Mhm.
5 or 6 years,
Mhm.
windows don't really track properly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Understood.
that's fine.
And then there are multiple pocket doors that don't track as well. It happens.
Yeah.
Same thing with the bi doors. Some of them are all pop off the track. Some of them are a little
Mhm.
Yeah.
they
Right.
bump and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the master bathroom commode door.
Mm-hmm.
When you close it, that latch is supposed to go in the hole.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shy
Mm-hmm.
of the
Oh.
hole, so it doesn't latch. So
Understood.
So it's
no
not
privacy.
plumb. The whole
exactly,
it's not plumb really, or you move the
the plate,
out
the
a little
plate
bit.
a little bit back,
Okay.
and it should be
Okay.
just fine.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
And then the flap for the dryer vent is actually so dryer's right there, so it actually vents out to the exterior wall here, which is lucky for no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say vents up right here.
No. No, so dryers depending on their location in the
Mhm.
house.
Mhm.
If it's easier, because the duct's only like this
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
Mm.
the width of your wall.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier for them to do that than run it up the roof
Oh, yeah.
into the
okay.
attic. So depending on where it's located,
Mm-hmm.
if they can go out a wall, they will. And it's honestly better because,
Yeah.
especially for you, if you need it cleaned,
Yeah.
you don't have to have anybody come here personally.
Mm-hmm.
I pull mine out,
Mm-hmm.
because mine's wall mount,
Mhm.
and I just stick my leaf blower in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Blow it up.
smart.
And then I go outside because of the moisture and rain and stuff.
Mhm.
When it comes out there,
Yeah.
it gets all clumped and it sticks around the edges, and it keeps the flap open. You don't want any critters or
Yeah,
insects going in
definitely.
there, mud daubers building their nest, clogging it up.
Yeah. Okay.
What'd you say, mob daubers?
Mud daubers.
What are mob daubers?
Have you ever seen like outside those like black, kind of like charcoal looking things with holes in it, like on the wall? Looks like
Yeah,
somebody
yeah,
took
yeah,
mud
yeah,
and
yeah.
threw it on the wall.
Oh, that's what that
Those are
is.
mud daubers. Those holes are after they're born. They break out of it.
Oh,
Before
we
that,
get those like up here.
I've seen
Oh, yeah.
them. Not them. I know
Ah.
I've seen them.
Okay.
and they will
I just
clog
didn't know what they were.
that hole up.
Okay.
One time I was in the house and they had like 2 laundry rooms, and one wasn't really used, so they put like a cover over the wall vent. Well, I opened it, and from the outside there was 8 nests of like mud daubers and wasps. It was it was a colony
community.
in there. So
Yeah.
shut it real quick. The guy went and got his some wasp spray, cracked it open,
Yeah.
closed them down.
Yeah, they found a retreat.
Yeah, God forbid a kid ever got curious and opened that up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so the pool was done, I believe I saw the permit was 97.
Mhm.
And rule of thumb is every 15, 20 years it should be
Did
resurfaced.
they redid it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought we said.
It does not
The
look
decking.
resurfaced.
I think the decking. The,
Maybe,
the,
yeah, maybe
the
the
pavers.
decking.
We'll look at that though.
Okay.
But not the surface itself. So
Okay.
I'd get someone out here, probably budget a little
The
bit.
full interior surface.
Yeah.
That like the diamond bright or whatever they call it. The
Marcel,
yeah. Okay.
that weird
Okay.
French term.
Mhm.
Marseille.
Marseille, that's the one. The pool heater,
Mhm.
you guys know about that. It's the fan blades drop
Pool or
down.
spa heater?
I call it pool heater. It's
Oh,
in there.
Oh yeah, that's what they were
Because one of the
replacing.
things is being replaced in addition to the bathtub, the spa heater. So
Yeah,
I
the
wanted to
spa
know if
here.
they're the
That's
same
right
thing.
there.
I would assume they're the same thing. I mean, you could that heat pump's pretty large for that little
So
spa.
maybe they do have a pool heater and it's just not serviced or something.
Yeah.
We gotta check that.
And then there's no strainer basket for the.
Oh.
Mhm.
So you know where the water comes
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
wall.
okay.
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 Need a basket there. And then there was a bit of microbial growth around like the air handler in the utility room
Okay.
and the pool bathroom, the drain line.
Mhm.
There's no active leak right now, but I could tell that there was one at some
That's
point,
okay,
and there's a little bit of microbial growth around there.
yeah. Do we need to do anything about those or, I mean,
Well, you had a prestige done, so I did an allergen in mold
Okay.
survey.
okay.
So when you get that back, it'll tell you
Oh, wow.
exactly what's in the air. So essentially, what happens is my boss gets the email. Like I said earlier, he dumbs it down a little bit because there's so many that you wouldn't
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah.
And then basically he tells you, it's good to go, or you need to
You get this.
get a professional to clean it
Okay.
and stuff. But more than not, bleach rag.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Good to go. And that was it.
Cool. And